Hello everyone, this is Bharat Singla, a class 10 student and a 5-star coder on CodeChef. So today we'll be discussing the problem longest and subarray from CodeChef's October challenge with a difficulty of simple and prerequisites are bitwise and operator. Because the problem revolves around binary system, you should also have a good knowledge of it. So let's quickly have a look. So you have an integer n. Consider the sequence containing all integers from 1 through n. Find the length of the longest subarray in this sequence such that the bitwise AND is positive. Basically, pick some continuous numbers, for example 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If their bitwise AND is non-zero, is positive, meaning at least one bit is set. So this is a quick heads up also. Some part of the solution is that if any bit is set, then it's greater than 0, right? If all the bits are unset, all the bits are 0, then the number is 0. So in the bitwise AND, if any bit is set, it's positive. So that range of numbers does work. We want to find the longest length of the longest such range from 1 to n. Right, so we have the number of test cases in the input format. For each test case, we are given n. For example, if n is equal to 7, then the length of the longest range of numbers such that their bitwise AND is greater than 0 is 4. Which subarray? Well, we can take the numbers from 4 to 7. Their bitwise AND is non-zero, so this subarray works. As you can see, this is the longest possible. No subarray of length 5 works. So we have to report 4 as the answer. So pretty simple problem, right? At least the problem. So now let's move on to the solution. So this is one of those draw and observe kind of a problem where literally no matter how good you are, you cannot achieve to the solution directly. So a very nice problem, a very constructive kind of a problem. So as you can see, these are all the first 10 numbers, right? I've written them in binary form. So as you can see, this is number 1, right? In binary, this is 2 in binary, this is 3 in binary, so on. So from this, what you can observe is that if I split it into powers of 2, right? So this is 2 to the power 0 range, this is 2 to the power 1 range, like basically all those numbers who come under the same segment of power of 2. For example, this is 4. So 5 also comes in this, 6 also comes in this, 7 also can come, but from 8 a new power starts. 8 is also power of 2, so I can kind of break it here, right? So that's how I am splitting it into these segments. And now what you can notice is that if I take this segment or if I take all the numbers in this range, their bitwise AND is definitely not 0. Why? Well, if you carefully see, let's take up this range, right? So I have 1 0 0, I have 1 0 1, I have 1 1 0, and I have 1 1 1. So when I take the bitwise AND of all these numbers, no matter what these bits are, these bits will always match, right? The first bit. Why? Because this is like a well-known fact that from 4 to 7, since all these numbers are in the same segment of a power of 2, their most significant bit, the leftmost bit, is obviously on the same position, right? The the next number which does not match is the one that starts from a new power of 2, that is 8. So this is now one more bit in length, right? This has 4 bits, whereas all these have 3 bits, right? So that's how basically I'm grouping the numbers. And now if you see the bitwise AND of all these numbers, no matter what these are, right, will always be 1 something something, right? Because these bits at least match. And what is the bitwise AND operator? If all the bits at a certain bit position are set, then in the bitwise AND also it is set. So we can say that the bitwise AND would be of the form 1 followed by something, and that does not really matter because all we want to ensure is that the subarray's bitwise AND is non-zero. So definitely, because at least one bit is set, a subarray of all the numbers that come under the same power of 2 segment do work. Pretty easy to observe, like these two bits will match, so their bitwise AND will be not at least one bit is set, right? In this also bitwise AND at least one bit is set from 8 to 15, not including 16. From 8 to 15 a new segment is there, all these bits will match, right? So that's how basically a segment of 2 always works. Now basically there are two parts in the solution: proving that all numbers in the same range of a power of 2 work, right? That's the first thing that we have proved. The second thing that we want to prove is that taking numbers from different ranges never works. Now why? Well, let's see. So we have to prove that merging two ranges of powers of 2 will give bitwise and as 0, right? So that's why we cannot include numbers from different ranges, right? So that's our main aim to prove now. So basically what will happen is that if, for example, I try to, merge these two ranges. So what's happening is that 1 0 1 1, right? So these bits definitely are, no matter what they are, right? They will be something like 1 followed by something, exactly as we saw. But whenever we enter a new number, right? So if we are merging two ranges, the start of the next range would be of the form 1 0 0 0 0, right? That would be a power of 2 basically. And the binary form of any power of 2 is 1 followed by zeros. For example, here a new range starts, which is 4, which is 1 0 0. Here a new range starts, which is 1 0 0 0, so on. So basically the idea is that if I take two different ranges, so what will happen is definitely this number will be included. For this you have, for example, I take up these two ranges, right? If I take, for example, these four numbers that are from two different ranges, so what is happening is that this 111 is of some form like this, and the next number is of this form 1000. So as you can see, there's one more bit in this one, and just to match them, I'll prepend a 0. Now as you can see, the bitwise AND will obviously come out to be 0. Why? Because obviously these bits don't match, and these, as I mentioned, are always of the form 0000. So we all know that n and n minus 1 is always 0 when n is a power of 2. Like here, this is a power of 2. The bitwise AND with its previous number always have, automatically will have all the bits different, right? These are already zeros, and the first one doesn't match with the above one. Here there should have been a 1, but obviously there's no bit here. So bitwise AND comes out to be 0. So that's why you cannot take these four numbers, because these two, no matter what the other numbers are, they are already giving the bitwise AND as 0. Taking 1 1 1 1 1, so whatever this number is, maybe it's 31, I guess. So the next number 32, for example, would be 1 0 0 0 0 0. So now as you can see, if I take the bitwise AND of 31 and 32, which are from different segments of a power of 2, this is always 0, right? So these all bits will always be 0, and here obviously there's a 0 here, so 1 and 0 will match again, giving a 0. So we have proven both the facts that if, for example, I take any number, if I take, for example, this number, so I can obviously expand till the full range of 2. So I can include this as well, I can include this as well, I can include this as well, and now I cannot expand any further, right? So this is the general proof that the longest, we can always take this, right? This is very important to understand. Please heed here that this part, you can always take two numbers or three numbers, but this solution wants us to find the length of the longest subarray, right? So length of the longest subarray could always be 2, right? Here we have just taken two numbers, but since we want the length of the longest one, we'll take a whole range of power of 2, the maximum we can include, right? So the problem basically is that given an n, right? So now it's better to rephrase the problem after these few observations, is that given a number n, find length of longest segment of a power of 2. So we want to find the length of the longest range of power of 2. So one of them could be from n to the previous power of 2, like n here is 10. So for 10 you have 8, right? So you can include 8 to 10. This is the first range you can take. And the second range, maybe because as you can see this one is pretty small, right? Only three numbers. So we can also consider the one range below it. So that would be from 8 we can take 4, right? So the next one would be from 4 to 7, right? This is our second range that basically corresponds to this one in the example. In this range, as you can see, now we do not need to consider these ranges, right? Because they are obviously small. So the largest full range that we can take, and maybe this range also, right? Because if, for example, n would have been 14, so one range would have been from 8 to 14, right? And the reason we need to consider this, even though this is like a broken range, not the full range, is that this still is greater than the 4 to 7 range, right? Lengthwise. So one range from n to its previous power, and the other range could be from the previous power till its previous power, right? So for 10 you get 8, the range from 8 to 10. The second range you can get is from 8 by 2, that is 4 to 7, right? So we can just find the size of these two and print the maximum. Let's move on to the C++ implementation, to which you'll understand it better. Okay, a largest power of 2 function that takes an integer n and it maintains the power p equals 1, and we say that while it for example the smallest power that would always work is 1. Now we can say, does 2 work? Is 2 also less than equals n? If yes, then indeed I can multiply p by 2. If not, then I'll obviously break out, right? So while you can keep multiplying it by 2, you do it. And as soon as this will become greater than n, right, when you cannot multiply it by 2, right, anymore, you will just return it. So now coming on to the code, you have number of test cases, and then you say that you have integer n, you input it. So I have just written these comments to take up an example. So for example, n is 20. So largest power of n would be 16, right? Then the second largest power would be obviously 16 by 2, that is 8. So one range could be, answer one could be from n minus lp plus 1, that is from, that is the range of n to lp to n basically. So what's the length of this range? Well, that is n minus lp plus 1. For any, basically for any range L to R, its length is R minus L plus 1. So that's exactly what I'm doing here. Answer 2 is the second range, that is from 8 to 15, that would be LP minus second LP, right? That would be from 8 to 15, so it's basically 15 minus 8 plus 1, that is 8 only. So as you can see, this could have also been replaced by simply second largest power of 2 only. Its range, its length would always come out to be 8, right? Because in a way LP, I have second LP is nothing but LP by 2. So we are basically doing LP minus largest power minus second largest power, which is obviously the second largest power only. A minus A by 2 is A by 2 only, right? But anyways, this makes idiomatically much more sense, because now this looks like the length of a range. Simply printing maximum would give us the correct output. So yes, this matches with the sample. Let's quickly copy and paste it and hope for an AC. Remember, you can always ask me your doubts in the comment section, right? I'll be keen to reply to them. And if you like the video, make sure to hit a like button and share it with all your friends whom you think may find it useful, those who could not solve this problem or just want to have a look at a better approach. Great. So we do get an AC, guys, a green tick. So this wraps up the video. This is Bharat Singla from CodeChef signing off, and chalo bye.